What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unstoppable, the elite mind and body podcast for men. If you guys don't know, the last week I haven't done a podcast. The reason why I haven't done a podcast is because I was completely out of my comfort zone traveling to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I was on a surf trip, surfing hours a day, working on my form, working on my knowledge of the waves, working on my knowledge of the ocean, and ultimately I had an amazing trip. But now I'm back. And guess what that means? It means that we're going to be live each day, day in and day out, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern for Unstoppable. And today I got another episode for you guys. And the episode is called Do Hard Shit. Okay? I'm going to leave it there just to start because there's so many people, men specifically. Remember, this is a men's podcast, right? There's so many men who shy away from doing the difficult shit that they know they got to do. There's so many men that shy away from putting in the work now and making sacrifices now to live a much higher state of existence in the future. Too many men shy away from the work that they need to do now so that their life is easier in the long run. Okay? And as a coach to over 400 men to date, as a coach to currently 65 active members inside of my academy, inside of my program, it is my job to push men to do the hard shit that they know they need to do, but that they don't want to do. That's my job. Okay. So first and foremost, I want to give you a little piece of clarity on your value as a man. Okay. Now, I didn't coin this. I got this from Andrew Tate. Now, whether or not you like Andrew Tate or you don't, there's a lot of things that he says that make sense to a lot of men, okay? And a lot of my clients and myself, a lot of people that I know that are successful, listen to Andrew Tate, at least some of the things that he says. The first thing is that men inherently have no value, okay? As a man, you were born with little to no value. Every single ounce of value that a man has, he has to work for it. He has to fight for it. He has to grind for it. He has to build it. He has to build himself into an interesting man with stories, money, status, power, a good body. He has to build a business where he has to build his finances up. He has to build his knowledge, his intelligence up. Men inherently have no value. If you are a man and you're born and you grow up and you don't have a job, you don't get any money, you don't build a nice body, and you're just broke and you have no aspirations, no woman is going to want you. You don't have any value until you build yourself. On the flip side, women inherently have value. Women can be born, and depending on the way they look, and yes, this sounds crazy and it sounds shallow, but it's true. If a woman is born and she's beautiful and she grows up and she's beautiful, she immediately has value. She can walk onto the same yachts as the guy who's been working for 20 years, right? She can find a husband who's got millions, if not billions of dollars. No man can do what a woman can do because men do not inherently have value. Our value comes from us building our lives, building ourselves, building our mindsets, building our bodies, building our bank accounts to levels that attract the level of either female that we want, lifestyle that we want, business that we want. We need to build ourselves. We have no value. Okay? Now understand this. You're going to have to fight day in and day out for the value that you have. And then even then, it may still not be enough for those around you. It may still not be enough to get the job that you want, to build the business that you want. Being a man is a never-ending game of fighting tooth and nail to become a better version of yourself while you're in constant fucking competition with all the other men around you. That's what being a man is, because you inherently have zero value. What I want to talk about next, okay, before you get all depressed and anxious and like, hey man, screw you. I have value. You know, my mom says I'm a great guy. Dude, I'm telling you something right now. This is extremely important. You understand this. We have no value as men. There are 4 specific strategies I want to give you right now that is going to help you develop as a man and build your value. so that you can acquire the relationship that you want. You can acquire the business that you want. You can create the life that you want. Because remember, again, and understand this, to the men that are watching this video, you have no inherent value. You must build yourself. The first thing is that you must overcommit to the actions that you're taking on a daily basis. You've got to overcommit to the actions. Now, what do I mean by overcommit? You can't just commit to working out 3 times a week if you want to be in great shape. You need to commit to working out 6 days a week and absolutely killing yourself in the gym, leaving it all on the table, because the harder you make those workouts, the easier everything else is going to seem. Okay? Your business. Let's say your business has something to do with social media. My business has everything to do with social media. Let's say your business has something to do with social media, whether you're a real estate professional, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're a thought leader, you're whatever you are, YouTuber, whatever, okay? You need to overcommit to the actions that are going to yield results. You can't just post once a day. You need to post twice a day. You need to post 3 times a day. You must overcommit to the actions that you're currently taking to build better value, to build yourself better. Guys, doing hard shit is not just about making sacrifices and progressing in different areas. Doing hard shit is about proving to yourself that you can do what you say you're going to do. Proving to yourself that you can do the hard stuff that other people are not willing to do. Because as a man, you have no inherent value and you're in constant competition with every other man on the planet. Believe that, because it's a fact. Overcommit to your actions. Overcommit to your learning. That's another action that most men underestimate. Overcommit to your learning. Did you know that 95% of Americans read less than 1 book a year? Isn't that crazy? Seems a little low to me. Overcommit to your actions. You should be reading a book a month, a book every 2 weeks, a book a week. How many books do you need to elevate your intelligence, your mental capacity for success, your mental capacity for sales, your propensity for risk, your ability to analyze situations and come out the other side with the right answer? Those are all intelligence things. Those are things you must learn, skills you must learn, right? Learn how to be on camera, learn how to master your craft, learn how to, whatever it is, learning, overcommit to your actions. The second thing is that as a man, you must minimize anxiety, okay? Because what I just told you right now is true, and any man who denies it is lying to themselves. We have no inherent value. It doesn't matter how handsome you are. You can't just be born handsome as a man and you have everything fall in your lap like a woman can. It doesn't exist that way. It doesn't work that way. As a man, you must be able to work your ass off for years and decades, potentially without the presence of results, and be able to minimize the anxiety that goes along with it. We must be able to do that, because sometimes stuff's not going to go our way. Sometimes our business isn't going to go the way that we want. Sometimes our health is going to deteriorate. Sometimes we're going to have family members who need something that devastates our savings. And because we're men and because we take care of everybody, we take care of our families, our savings are gone in an instant, right? We need to learn how to minimize anxiety. And the best way to minimize anxiety is by taking action, right? Taking action. Guys, action alleviates anxiety, which means if you're having trouble falling asleep at night, it's probably because you're not doing enough hard shit. Every single night I go to sleep and I sleep like a baby, because I know for a fact that that day I did every single thing that I could possibly do to move my business in the direction that it needs to move, to move my family in the direction that they need to move, to move my finances in the direction, to move my health in the direction, to move my passions and purposes in the direction, and to move my clients' lives in the direction that they need to be moving in. I sleep at night like a baby because I'm willing to do whatever the fuck it takes. I'm willing to put in that action. I'm willing to take uncomfortable risk, uncomfortable action, and do the hard shit that other men are not willing to do. That's why I have the results that many people in my industry don't have. It's the same thing with you in your industry. You've got to be willing to do the hard things, and you need to learn how to minimize anxiety. And the only way to do that is through action. What are the actions you're taking? How can you double down on those actions more? How can you make those actions so sustainable that you're always doing them, but do it in a way where you're still doing them at a very high level. You're not slacking on them, right? Like this podcast. When you're listening to this podcast live, I want you to drop hearts or fires wherever you're watching this live right now. If you're watching this and you've ever watched it live, does it ever seem like I'm slacking? Does it ever seem like I'm asleep over here? No. The answer is no. The reason why? Because I have overcommitted to providing you guys with the best possible podcast to help take you to the next level as a man. That is my intention. Period. Will I show up all sleepy and tired even if I feel sleepy and tired? Fuck no. I show up with the energy that you need to take it to the next level. That's why I'm here. Overcommit. Do the actions that you need to, and you'll sleep better. You'll have less anxiety. The more you do, even if you're doing the wrong things, the less anxiety you'll have, because at least you're doing something. Do the hard shit. The third one is to overcome procrastination. Now, this is one that plagues so many men. How many of you right now, okay? And this is going to go down a little bit of a tunnel that some people, some viewers may get offended by, but it's a truth that impacts so many men. How many of you at 11 a.m. in the morning when you should be working, you're watching porn? I asked it. Probably a lot of you. If you're listening to this right now and you're uncomfortable, maybe it's because you're the guy I'm talking to. If you're listening to this and you're uncomfortable because you've never watched porn in your life, then great, good for you, okay? But how many of you are wasting time procrastinating and doing other dopamine-releasing activities, whether it's social media, porn, video games, scrolling Tinder, whatever the hell it is, rather than taking the actions you need to build yourself as a man and do the hard shit so that you can actually elevate your value and attract what you want into your life? How many of you? Many. Most men are like this. That's why men get into ruts. That's why men get fat. That's why men get lazy. That's why men ruin their lives, because they're unwilling to do the hard shit. Okay? Overcome procrastination. How do we overcome procrastination, guys? The way we overcome procrastination is by understanding it. Okay? You need to understand the human brain. Okay? The human brain seeks one thing and one thing only. It seeks dopamine. Okay? It seeks the path of least resistance to the most amount of dopamine it can possibly get. Okay? It seeks the path of least resistance to the most amount of dopamine it can possibly get. And so if we understand that our brain is constantly looking for dopamine hits, swiping TikTok and watching porn and playing phone games and doing all this bullshit that takes us comfort, takes us away from our ability to work on our value and build ourselves up as men, we've got to stop. Guys, we have to cut these things out. Now, I want to teach you a strategy that you can use to cut these things out of your life that has worked for me. If you want to overcome procrastination, you want to stop wasting time when you're supposed to be working, you want to start building your life instead of building somebody else's, working for someone else, living a life that you do not ultimately want to be living, you need to engineer your dopamine. Where does it come from, right? You need to think to yourself, hey, what are my primary distractions? Is it phone games? Is it porn? Is it weed? Is it drugs? Is it alcohol? Is it watching TV? Is it social media? Is it Tinder? Is it dating apps? What is it? Write down a list of the things that are stealing your attention away. You're going to commit to not doing a single one of those things for an entire week. You're going to do a dopamine fast, a fast of dopamine, where you do not do the thing that you want to do, that your brain wants to do, for 1 week. See how different you feel. And then what I want you to do is, as soon as you get to a week, you're going to use the tomorrow strategy. Now, let me teach you the tomorrow strategy. The tomorrow strategy goes like this. Let's say, for example, it's 11 a.m. You're supposed to be doing work. You want to watch porn. It comes into your brain, right? It comes in your brain. You want to watch porn. What you're going to do is, after the 7 days, you're going to say tomorrow. I'm not doing it today. I got work to do. Maybe tomorrow. Tell yourself maybe tomorrow on any distraction, whether it's social media. You start opening your phone, your Instagram, you start scrolling. Oh, you know what? I got work to do today. Maybe tomorrow. Get back to work. You pop on the TV, and when you should be working on your side business, oh, you know what? I got work to do. Maybe tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I'm playing a little bit of video games. Oh, wait, no, I caught myself playing video games. I got a lot of work to do. Maybe tomorrow. Use the maybe tomorrow strategy to trick your brain into thinking that maybe tomorrow you can do it. You do that for enough tomorrows, you'll never do the thing again. You'll never, ever, ever do the thing again because it's always maybe tomorrow. It's not now. You have shit to do now because you're a man. And your goal is to build yourself into something that attracts what you want in life. Okay? We must continue building ourselves. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is resilience. Okay? Because guys, I dropped a couple bombs at the beginning of this video. If you're coming to this video a little bit late or listening to the podcast a little bit late, you didn't hear what I originally said, but what I originally said, I'm going to say it one more time, and then I'm going to finish this podcast out because it's extremely important that you understand this. As a man, you have no inherent value. The world doesn't give a shit about you. Okay? You could be born a beautiful woman, Gisele Bündchen, grow up, be 18, showered in gifts and showered in travel and showered in a million different things. As a man, you have no value. You have to build every single piece of respect that anyone has for you. You have to build every single dollar that's in your bank account. You have to build every single thing in your life. You have to build. And the best way to build it is by building yourself. Build yourself into something that attracts what you want. Build yourself. The last thing I'm going to say is the world does not care about you until you make something of yourself. So guys, make something of yourselves. I'm super proud of you. There's a couple comments here that I want to reply to. Harry, you've been following you for 5 years. One of the first. Yeah, bro. What's up, man? Glad to see you. Skills Man is in here. Man, you guys are killing it. You guys are killing it. I'm glad to see many of you guys here live. We're going to be live at 3 p.m. Eastern. Today we were a little bit early for the podcast, but usually it's 3 p.m. Eastern. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.